It's time for another episode of Things Facebook Sold Me. This time we're looking at Grassroots vegan cheddar puffs. Well, we have jalapeno cheddar, white cheddar, and of course truffle rosemary. Now, these are another item I found on Facebook ad. They just advertised to me. They said, hey, you can get a 6-pack sampler for $5.99, making them $1 a bag. They're actually 1-ounce bags, so not too big, but that's not a bad price. I was looking at their regular website. Normally you get a sampler pack. It's 18 bags, 6 of each for $30, making them about like $1.75 a bag, I think. So this is almost half off for this sampler to see if we like it. Now these are made with Sacha Inchi, which is a complete protein powerhouse seed that is grown sustainably and provides a positive impact for farming communities. So they're, basically good for you, vegan, made with avocado oil, grain-free, blah, 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 blah. All that good stuff, 0 sugar, protein, all that stuff that you really want. So let's try these out. I'm gonna try all 3, of course. Let's start with white cheddar, though. White cheddar seems like the default. And they're called Grassroots food. I guess I should have mentioned that in the beginning. They're based in New Orleans. Let's open them up and see if they're worth the money. If they're worth $1 a bag, or maybe possibly $1.75 a bag. Here we go. Here's what they look like. I gotta be honest, they don't look very appetizing, but I get it too close to the light, you can't see anything. Anyway, let's try it. Wow. All right, these white cheddar crunch puffs. My first impression when I bit into them was I didn't like. They tasted very wheat forward. It was almost like eating a pretzel, but not quite that salty. It's very weird. It was very weedy. So then I started looking at the ingredients because I wanted to know where the Sacha Inchi was. Because the first ingredient is lentil flour, then pea protein, then tapioca starch, avocado oil, seasoning, which has onion powder, flavored nutritional yeast, garlic powder, lactic acid, mustard seed spices, white distilled vinegar, citric acid, cassava flour. Second to last ingredient, Sacha Inchi protein, followed by rosemary extract. So the Sacha Inchi that they put on the bag is one of the... It's the second to last ingredient, which means there's not much in here. It's not really the primary ingredient. It's lentil flour and pea protein. That's what you're tasting most of the time, which makes sense. That's what it tastes like. It's not bad. It's not bad by any means. I could eat this. I will eat the bags I got of this, but I wouldn't order it again, even for the same price. Because while I think it tastes fine for what it is, and it's nice that it's all that stuff, and it's vegan and GMO, whatever, whatever. It's fine that that's all there, and it's nice, and it's a good snack, I guess, but the taste is just not there enough for me to buy it again. So that's this is the white cheddar. We're gonna try the other ones. Let's try truffle rosemary, see if that makes any difference. The texture is also a little weird. They're crunch puffs, they say, but they're actually very hard. They take a strong bite to get through, so the crunch is there. The puff, not so much. Anyway, let's try truffle rosemary. Truffle rosemary, I think, is a lot better flavor, honestly. I was trying to remember this white cheddar. I didn't comment on the cheddar part, I'm sorry. I will now. They're not super cheddary, but they do build. After the first couple, I started tasting the cheddar more and more, but it's not a very strong white cheddar flavor like you'd expect from typical snacks. And I forgot to give it a rating also. I'm going to give it a 3. Because I do think that it's solid, and most people would probably enjoy it, but not enjoy it enough to where you'd want to buy it again, if you know what I mean. This, however, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4. I actually really like this. As I was complaining about these, once I got this truffle flavor, this black truffle, salt, and rosemary, the flavor is so good that it kind of overwrites the things I don't like about it, because the flavor is a lot stronger on these. You don't really taste the weedy, pea protein flavor of the actual crunch, but the only problem I have here is really the texture, which is the same as this one. A little bit too crunchy and not puffy enough, but the flavor here is so good that it kind of just overwrites a lot of my issues. So I'm going to give it a 4. I think this is actually really good. I might be willing to buy these again. These are actually really, really, really good flavor. Honestly, I'd like this seasoning that they have here on just a better form of puff. Then it would be a perfect snack probably. But as it is, it's a 4. So now we're gonna move on to the last bag, jalapeno cheddar. And we'll see how spicy their jalapeno cheddar is, because jalapeno means a lot of different things depending on the company making it, apparently. Not all jalapeno is made the same. Here we go. So Brass Roots Jalapeno Cheddar. There is a spice here, but it's not super spicy. I'm eating them. The heat is building a little bit, but it's not very spicy. I could eat this no problem. The problem with it really is that the flavor is not that good. What you really get is the spice, and the first thing I tasted was bell pepper. I was like, why does this taste like bell pepper? In the ingredients list, under seasoning, tapioca, maltodextrin, sea salt, green bell pepper powder, then jalapeno. So bell pepper is actually the #1 seasoning in here outside of the tapioca, maltodextrin, and salt. And it tastes like it. It doesn't have like a jalapeno taste. As you know, like jalapeno has a very specific taste. It's not. It doesn't just mean heat, obviously. I don't need to explain this to people, but there's a very specific jalapeno taste, and this doesn't have it. It does have heat, but it's not very strong. And the cheddar might as well not even exist. The white cheddar at least started to taste like cheddar after a while. I ate about half this bag, so I guess 0.5 ounces, and I didn't really get much cheddar. It's just a heat building, but not a strong heat. It's almost pleasant in how hot it is, but it doesn't matter because the taste is not there. So I'm gonna give these a 2. I don't think that these are really worth anybody's time. And now I'm gonna go overall on the things Facebook sold me on our 3 bags here. The Brass Roots, specifically it's for the Brass Roots Snack Company. That's what we're basically reviewing, even though we've individually reviewed all these snacks. As I said before, it's nice that they're vegan and plant-based and blah, 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 and they give protein and all that stuff. But what I'm left with specifically with these 2 is a satisfying snack, but not something I'm blown away by. This one, I'm on the edge. I really do like it, but I think the problem really is the form of the actual crisp or puff, as you say. I just don't really like the texture of it, but I really do like the seasoning of this. So if you were going to give this a shot, if you can find an ad or a promo code or whatever like I did to get the 6-pack, I do think it's worth trying for $6 because it was $5.99 with free shipping. So I got 2 of each bag. And honestly, these are so good that I don't regret the purchase, but I don't think I would buy them at the full price where it's 18 bags for $29.99, which makes them like $175 a bag. I don't think I'd ever do that. But I do think that this flavor specifically is really good. So if you are going to try one of these, try this one, the Truffle Rosemary, unless you don't like Truffle Rosemary flavor, unless you have some kind of, vendetta against rosemary. But yes, this one is really good. This one's adequate, it's okay, and this one I don't really like, but it does have a kind of pleasant heat, but no flavor. So that's our Brass Roots review for things Facebook sold me, and I will see you next time.